Let's get this show what? Hey! Let's get it started! And with all of that, y'all know I got to sit down. Our first guest is the driving force behind the inspiring platform known as #ChatWithChina. With a motto that encourages us to grab our wine and meet her on the couch. So you know what that means. China, meet me on the lavender couch! It is definitely time to chat with China on the Sisaundra Show. Welcome, dear lady.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. So can you tell us what started Chat with China?
So I've always been a people's person. I've always wanted to connect people and give people the option to speak on how they feel. So one year I went to a vision board party and I was like, okay, God, I don't know what my vision gonna be for this year, but I want something that connects me with other people. So I went to the vision board party and one girl, she put on her vision board a red table. And as we're going through the red table, she says, my goal this year is to be able to connect with people, express how I feel without being judged. And
Wow.
I was already thinking about Chat with China with us having the opportunity to discuss things and not be judged. So when she said that, I was like, that's my confirmation.
Confirmation.
That was my confirmation.
Not for her, but for you.
For me. It was for me. That was for me.
I love it. I love it. So how did openly discussing your personal story of molestation impact you emotionally and shape your approach to sensitive topics on your platform?
That was hard. I had to have a conversation with my mom, which I think turned into like a 3-hour conversation first.
I'm sure.
And it was like, if I can do it and make others feel comfortable, then let me just go on with it. And after I got over that hurdle, it just became like second nature.
Right. It opens the door to healing for so many people.
It does.
Right?
It does.
Can you share a memorable moment from one of your #Chat with China sessions that deeply affected you personally?
I have to say the segment that I did with my daughter, because to listen to her open up and express, I mean, she's going through that preteen stage, but it's like, sometimes they want to talk, sometimes they don't.
Correct.
But to see her get on the platform and speak on certain topics that were sensitive to her, it was like, I'm doing something right. Like, it's different when you have other guests, but when you see it come straight out of your household,
Yes.
I'm doing something right.
Yes.
And she got up there, we cried together
Wow.
on there. So it was just like it was a
so
memorable moment
powerful.
for me. Yes.
That's powerful. And I'm sure very cleansing for both of you.
For both
And
of us.
It brings you closer together,
Yes.
right? Oh my goodness. So how do you ensure a safe and supportive environment for your audience when providing advice without judgment on your platform?
I definitely have to review and pray on the topic first,
Yes.
because every topic is different. Every person is different.
Yes.
I have to get a sense of feeling for the person that I'm going to interview and what their topic is, for the safety of me and myself as well, because one thing I don't want to do is provide them with feedback and it backlashes on me.
Correct.
So you have to be careful with that. And that ties into my life coaching as well. My clients, I have to get a feel for them if I'm going to accept them as a client. Certain clients that are dealing with grievance, I can't coach them because I'm still coaching myself through that.
Correct.
So I have to be
Understand.
careful and very mindful of those that I'm going to coach and that I'm going to have on my platform.
Right. So it takes a lot of research.
It does.
You are
Discernment.
And discernment. And you're certified.
I am.
Discernment and certified. Come on now. So how has your platform provided a sense of community and support for those who feel isolated because of what has happened to them?
I get a lot of people who respond to me and say they needed this. They needed something like Chat with China. I allow my guests to either submit anonymously or they can sit on the couch with me. If they submit anonymously, they get that feedback from everyone, not just their family members, but people who don't know who they are. And everyone has a different perspective on whatever the topic is going to be. So you get that different feedback, which is why I love Chat with China.
Yes.
Everyone's perspective is different.
It is so true.
Yes.
So are there any, I'm sure there are many, share with us rather, some heartwarming stories. Give us 2 heartwarming stories or feedback that you've gotten from people since you have launched this platform.
I had one of my favorite ones. I had a mom who wrote me. Her daughter was 17 and she had discovered that she was pregnant. And she had talked to her family and was like, what do I do? She's not ready to have a child, or I'm not ready to be a grandmother, but I also don't want to put her in that situation. And she wrote me and said, hey, I want to have an open discussion, but I don't want to come onto the couch with you. And we did. And it gave so many different perspectives from people who don't know her story.
Right.
And she wrote me a few months later and sent me a picture of her grandbaby. And she said it was so overwhelming, the support that she received anonymously, to not give up and to believe and pour into her child. But she said it was a reality check for her. Her child getting pregnant was not a mistake, but it also reflected on her as how she handled it going forward, because she was still a child.
Oh, wow.
So that was one. And
well, that gave me goosebumps. Just touch y'all. That's so beautiful.
I think the other personal one has been with my brother, to watch where he started and where he is now, to see I'm just so in love with my brother. But just to see where
I love
he
to
is
hear
now,
that.
Owning his own businesses, and just to know, well, his trucking business, but just to know where he started, they would have counted him out. And now he's the one that's letting them know that they couldn't count.
I love
so that
those
was
stories.
a memorable one for me as well.
Awesome. Those are very memorable and touching stories. So what are your hopes and goals for the future of Chat with China?
Chat with China will be a household name. I am going to be the next best Oprah Winfrey.
Let's receive it in Jesus' name.
I'm claiming it. But more than just that, just to be that connect to people that they feel like they can talk to, because that's the problem in society now. We're afraid to speak on how we feel because we know that someone is going to judge us, whether they openly do it or behind our backs. Someone is going to judge us. So to be able to have that platform where they can talk and speak and express themselves without the fear of being judged. That's my mission.
That's your mission. It takes a lot of courage to step into that space.
It takes a lot of courage and a lot of praying.
Most definitely. But hey, the prayer makes it work, right? So how has the support and engagement from your audience how has it influenced your personal growth and your journey?
Honestly, I feel like it's taught me to be a better person, because now I notice, and I joke about this all the time, like when people will see me, if I run to the dollar store, I do shop at the dollar store. People will see me, they're like, oh my gosh, that's Chat with China. I've had that happen, and it's like, to me, I downplay myself, but when I see that, it's like, oh my gosh, people are really watching me.
You're impactful.
People are really looking at what I do, and then when I go out into my community, and the kids are like, oh, that's Biscuit's mom, that's Chat with China. It's like, little by little, I am making an impact. And it's not just with Chat with China, but the things that I do outside of that, I'm seeing the impact in my community.
That's so beautiful. So, we have something in common. Before we go to break, I just want to share. Tell everybody what we have in common.
Girl, we from Polk County.
We are from Polk County! Listen.
We are from Polk County.
We are stopping. That's hilarious.
Don't do it today.
What was the song they played for you last time?
No, he did the crickets or something.
Oh, my bad. You remember this?
I did.
Oh, my God. Okay.
It's been such a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank
We're going to
you.
take a short break. Don't y'all go nowhere. Chat with China is here. For the culture. You hear my mom say, yes, my soul says, yes! Hello, everyone. If you are at work, at home, y'all drop everything and tune in, because it's time for the Sisaundra Show!
Yeah.
Listen, I'm just kidding. Don't y'all get fired. Don't drop everything at work. Listen, speaking of fired, y'all